scream, "Go to hell"? Or maybe you've described an event or location as hell on earth. Well, most likely, most of us don't take this phrase literally. However, most religions do believe in physical locations where you can actually enter hell. A couple of weeks ago, my friend suggested that I watch this History Channel documentary about the gates of hell. After taking her advice and watching it, I decided to share my findings with you today. Today, I'll discuss 4 of the 6 gates of hell. Let's start with the southernmost hellmouth, Masaya. About 12 miles from Managua, in Nicaragua, is the most accessible volcano in Nicaragua called Masaya, or as it's called there, La Boca del Infierno, the mouth of hell. Masaya is an active volcano whose constant and ominous smoke has marked its location for centuries. But in order to get to the actual hellmouth, you have to travel through a series of dangerous caves. In the 16th century, a Spanish friar decided to make this perilous journey all on his own, carrying nothing but an ornamental wooden cross as protection. Now, he survived the trip, but was so horrified by the evils he saw there, he erected a cross at the top of the volcano. Masaya was used by the ancient Mayans as a place to practice blood sacrifices to appease the gods of the underworld, because that's how they thought that souls and even physical bodies entered hell. Moving slightly northward, we see another entrance into hell. Deep in the jungles of Central America is a cave called Xibalba, or the place of fear. The natives who live here fear this place so much that to this day they won't go in it without performing a series of religious ceremonies. The pious Mayans who lived there first scrawled a detailed map of Xibalba and the descent into hell. There are several rooms in this map which include the room of darkness, the room of knives, and the room of bats. And all of these rooms were designed to test the souls of those entering the underworld. Now, the concept of a journey into hell isn't something unique to this culture. In fact, Dante's Inferno is an epic poem that is probably the most recognizable journey into hell, and also divides hell into certain sections. Like Masaya, Xibalba was a place that was used for ceremonial blood sacrifices to appease the gods of the underworld. Archaeologists who have traveled these caves today find the skeletal remains of men, women, and even children along the walls and floors of this cave. As we move even northward, we find that there's a transition, and not so much an entrance to hell, but a place where demons come from hell to earth. In the late 17th century, colonial Americans believed that the woods surrounding their towns and villages were directly connected to hell. This concept took a physical form in the Salem witch trials in Salem, Massachusetts. The Crucible by Arthur Miller is a play that describes the events surrounding the Salem witch trials. In the opening scene, we see a bunch of young women dancing naked in the woods, while Tituba, a slave and rumored witch from the town, performs different spells and calls upon different spirits from the woods. Eventually, Abigail Williams, one of the dancing girls, confesses to dancing and even claims that she made a pact with the devil in the woods. We see more of Satan walking in the woods in Young Goodman Brown, a story by Nathaniel Hawthorne, which documents a young man's journey through the woods and his conversation with the devil. Now, the colonist stories of devils and hauntings are chilling to say the least. However, the most incredible story happened even further northward. About 900 years ago, Mount Hekla in Iceland, erupted so much and on such a magnitude that it was said to be a cry from hell itself. Fire and lava was launched into the air. Smoking clouds surrounded the mouth of the volcano and climbed into the heavens, and ashes floated to the ground to cover the entire landscape. One can only imagine that the Icelandic people who experienced this saw something like this. And those who survived said that as the eruption commenced, they heard sounds from the volcano they believed to be cries from the condemned spirits and souls in hell. They also interpreted the smoke around the volcano as demons leaving hell to do Satan's work here on earth. We see more of the devil's handiwork in Revelation chapter 20, where it describes hell as a place of torture with a lake of fire. Now, these two descriptions alone, not to mention the other descriptions scattered throughout the Bible, would lead one to believe that this eruption was, in fact, our world and the underworld linked together. Now, as we've seen today, the 4 major gates into hell are Masaya in Nicaragua, Xibalba in Central America, the woods of colonial America, and Mount Hekla in Iceland. Each portal has its own stories and superstitions to support that this is actually a place where we can physically visit hell. So next time you hear someone scream, "Go to hell," You might want to let them know it's a little easier than they